For the first time with Devontae Freeman. And he'll take this up only to about his 18-yard line. Chris Jones on the stop.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On second down, Ryan. This one complete to Mohamed Sanu. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. A good pickup there, a 22.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Hey, let's go.
This is Freeman on 1st and 10. And he's going to take this one up only to about the 44-yard line. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. On 2nd down, Freeman. And he's going to bull his way forward to the 48. And still about 3 yards shy of a first as the 4-yard pickup brings it to 3rd down. From the shotgun, Ryan. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. Oh, a big decision here early. Look at this. They're going to go for it on their own side of the field. Now here's a defensive timeout called by the Chiefs. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Now, the offense is not leaving the field. They're going to stay out and go for it on 4th and 3. They'll indeed go for it with Ryan. And he's got a man, Calvin Ridley. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. 27 yards, a big play there on 4th.
Well, peel back the curtain, partner. We've got a pretty good look into how they plan to play this game. Aggressive seems to be the word. Going for it on 4th down in that situation.
Yeah, opening drive. Now, we know this coaching staff, they have traits of aggression in their history, but what a start to this game. They're going for it.
Yeah, a lot of people might say reckless, but they got it. 1 for 1 on 4th down here early in the game.
And a quick throw here, that's complete. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. First catch for him. It's good for a dozen and a first down. Well, they're piecing together a nice drive to start this one. Seems pretty scripted and pretty successful so far.
And I think they did it without our help. Because you remember when we sat in the production meeting with them to talk about this. And, hey, you know, how are you guys going to come out of the gate? I know I offered my help with a few plays, and they didn't seem to want it.
I didn't offer mine.
You know, you were the smart one. Whatever they're doing, though, it's working really well.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And this is not going to do it as he stopped at the 2-yard line. Not enough there for a first, matter of fact. And it leaves them at 3rd and 1. On 3rd down, Devontae Freeman. And he'll get nothing out of that one. They'll be marked inches short. No gain on the play. And that's going to lead them to 4th down. Alongside Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, it's the Falcons in possession to begin quarter number 2. We'll see what they'll do here as they're up against a 4th and inches. Line of scrimmage, the 2. They can still get a first down if they just get a yard out of this on 4th and very short. They'll run He didn't get the touchdown, but he did get the first down as he's tackled at the 1. They only get a hard-fought yard, but that's all they needed. It pays off, and he gets in. Touchdown, Atlanta. Devontae Freeman taking it in from a yard out. And the Falcons are in for 6. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how are we going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
Bryant tacks on the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. Now here's Bryant to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. Here's the Kansas City offense now as they get set to take over. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. 5 yards on the pickup. A boost here to start the drive. After the penalty, it's 1st and 5. To throw, it's Mahomes. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And nearly picked it off. He had a chance to come down with that in the end zone, but it'll wind up just being incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, you need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Mahomes to throw on 2nd down. Pressure brought in, and the Falcons get there for the sack.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
Well, they convert on 3rd with a gain of 22.
Some think that teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20.
That was a terrific catch. I mean, to go up there and get it one-handed like that, but I almost want to go into that riff about back in my day, the gloves weren't quite like this.
When did gloves really become prevalent, just in general?
I think in the 80s. I think as we started to move through the 80s, especially as we got towards the latter part of that. But a lot of those were really like baseball batting gloves to begin with not much of a tacky area on the glove. In fact, there was none. I actually remember in cold weather games wearing the old scuba gloves, which you'd wear in the diving, but they would split too easily in the course of a game. Then the glove manufacturers got smart and started adding to it, and here we are today.
A good pickup there, 26 yards. They'll try and run. This is Williams. And he gets halfway home from the 4 down to the 2-yard line. Good first step there defensively, but they're still knocking on the doorstep, so maybe another run here?
I think so.
And he's going to bowl his way into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. Damian Williams taking it in from 2 yards out, and the Chiefs are an extra point away from tying up this football game. The extra point up and good. And we are tied at 7. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. Now the Falcons offense, they get ready to head back out here. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
The drive will start with a carry by Devontae Freeman. Looking to find a lane, but he can't, reined in at the line of scrimmage. The All-Pro safety Eric Berry in on the stop. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. On second down, here's Ryan. And that'll be incomplete.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. They come up to the line now facing a 3rd and 10 after the incompletion. From the gun, it's Ryan. And that is incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And a fair catch is taken here, a step or two inside the 45-yard line. So 1:55 to go in the first half. We're back to Arrowhead after this. The Chiefs in good position to start out as they come up 1st and 10. Working from the gun, Mahomes. And he overshot him there. It's out of bounds, incomplete. Travis Kelce, the Pro Bowl tight end, the intended target. And it's 2nd down. Shotgun snap to Mahomes. He's going to sling this deep downfield. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. From the gun, it's Mahomes. Trying to get it to Thomas, and it's intercepted. Bruce Carter with a pick. And his guys are going to take over at their own 48-yard line.
Well, this is a defense that can confuse even the best of quarterbacks with their zone schemes. And here you've got a linebacker that's going to stay at home and just sit down in that zone. And this one basically comes right to him.
Hey, got it.
They'll run with Freeman here to begin the drive. And they'll stop him right on the midfield stripe. The All-Pro Justin Houston in on the tackle.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
From midfield now, here's Ryan. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down. The turnover put them in great field position. They don't want to squander it with third down coming up.
No, not at all. And you know what else you do? You make your defense mad.
Yeah.
They got you the football, gave you a great opportunity. You got to cash in and get some points.
Now it's Ryan. And he's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a first down. They say he was out of bounds. So a big call there. That brings up fourth. A third down, he tried to stay in bounds, did all he could. He caught it, but was led a little bit too far. Yeah,
and that's always difficult, isn't it? Because you know half of your body is trying to stay behind while the other half is reaching out, trying to catch the football. The top half worked. It was the bottom half that was in question.
Hey, Tuesday, 20.
They're going on fourth down. It's Ryan. And the return stops just a few yards shy of midfield. They'll spot the ball at the 47-yard line.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
So after the INT, here's Mahomes. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number one. He was looking for Tyreek Hill that time. And now it's second down. A first throw for Henney, the veteran backup. Gets this one to Hill. Room to run inside the 40. Well, he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Chiefs first down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Henney. Throw left side, taken in by Hill. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
I like that one, partner. They go back-to-back with excellent gains. And really, it shouldn't be a surprise who they were throwing the ball to. He's their best guy.
Yeah, we knew that they would get him involved early. They're doubling down on getting him involved early.
Don't be surprised if they'll come right back to him again. They haven't shown the propensity to be able to stop him.
And this is caught by Watkins. Touchdown, Kansas City. Sammy Watkins, 23 yards for the touchdown. And the Chiefs are in for 6. Butker on for the PAT. The extra point up and good. And that makes the score 14-7. Butker now to kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Now the Falcons offense gets ready to head back onto the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
Ryan now 4 out of 10 throwing the ball in this first half, but he's got a first down here.
Ready! Ready! Fight! Fight! Let him go!
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. Eric Murray that time there to knock it away.
But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
21! Ready! Ready! Right! Right out! Go!
Throwing again. Ryan. And he's going to be swallowed up. Sacked back at the 45-yard line. Chris Jones. Now a second timeout called for by the defense, as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. So the sack pushes him back, and now 3rd and long for Ryan and the Falcons.
12! 11! Ready! You ready? Got it!
Out of the gun, it's Ryan. And it's complete. Hooper. And he's got this down to the 35. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. From the left hash, this will be a 52-yard attempt. And Bryant's kick is good. And they'll cut the lead back down to 4 now at 14-10. So the 3 points here, they're still down, but they put somewhat of a dent into that lead going into the break.
Anything helps when you're trying to chip away at a lead, but they do know that they're going to need a little bit better effort in the second half.
Short kick. One of the up middle take it now. And they'll be set up with good field position here as he gets this up over the 40-yard line. Now the Chiefs offense, they get ready to head on the field. Well, what do you think? You get the ball off the turnover near the middle of the field. You take a shot here in the first play?
You know I'm big on that. I love when I have great field position. After a turnover, I feel like I might have them a little bit off balance. I prefer to take a shot, but a lot of coaches will tell you you only do it if you trust the guy who's got the football in his hands. Meaning, if it's not there, he won't force it downfield and maybe turn it into an interception. He'll go to the check down, go to a second option, and go ahead and take the play that's in front of him.
And he'll get this up past the 45 to the 47. So we've come upon halftime here in Arrowhead with the Chiefs on top. As we send you to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here are the Falcons as their offense heads back onto the field. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. Again, they'll run with Freeman. Fights off the defender, and he'll be brought down at the 38-yard line. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. The former Indiana Hoosier here Tevin Coleman. And a good swarm to the football defensively as they get him down at about the 40. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
They'll
run it now out of the gun. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
They're making it look easy out there. Another first down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 first downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success. On the heels of that good carry by Devontae Freeman, here's 1st and 10. Throwing now, Ryan on first down. He sets to fire. This is caught inside the 15. Touchdown, Falcons. Calvin Ridley, 49 yards. And the Falcons are in for 6. Bryant's extra point up and good. And it's now 17-14. Now here's Bryant to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. So here's the Chiefs offense ready for their first reps in half number 2. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
On first down, Mahomes. He's got his man on the comebacker. That's Watkins. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a first down. Throwing on first down is Mahomes. And going deep for Hill. This is caught. And he takes this into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. Tyreek Hill, 60 yards. And the Chiefs are in for 6. Well, you know he can be explosive, and he's ultra-explosive there on the fly route.
And you know how many times we've talked to coaches and we've had quoted back to us, well, you know something? When you execute really well, it doesn't matter if they know it's coming or not. But sometimes athleticism beats you as well. He just took off and went. That's almost like one of your Turkey Bowl games, isn't it? Just go long, man. I'll hit you. And it worked really well for them.
Butker now to kick this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25. Here comes the Falcon offense now as they get set to take over here. They had seized the lead there for a little bit with a starting drive in the third quarter, but a moment ago, the touchdown that puts them back behind.
So their defense is under siege a little bit right now because they have not able to solve their opponents. So they've got to keep hammering away on offense and try and win this one in what appears to be a shootout. I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5.
20. Ready. Back 25. 12.
Now Ryan on 2nd down. He's airing it out for Sanu. That's caught at the 25. Touchdown, Falcons. Mohamed Sanu, 70 yards. And the Falcons are in for 6.
As a fan, is there anything prettier than a well-executed post route?
No, it's a thing of beauty, especially when it's done like that for a touchdown.
The throw, the catch, and how about the run after to get it to the end zone?
Bryant tacks on the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Now here's Bryant to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Chiefs offense now making their way back onto the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
And it's intercepted. Picked off by Robert Alford. Fighting through, and he's got space. Able to avoid him at the 40. And he will take this all the way up past the 40-yard line.
Oh, man, Brandon, not a real good throw that time. It looked like he tried to put a little too much air under this one, and it turned into a floater. And defensively, this is a dream. He could have fair caught that one. That was way too easy.
They'll try to get the ground game going with Freeman. And he's going to bull his way forward to the 48. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
Final minute now of the third quarter. Freeman again. And he'll be brought down right at midfield after a gain of only a couple.
Well, you know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
Every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. On third down, that's Freeman. And he'll get this into enemy territory, but not by much, as he's down to the 48. He needed 3. He got 2. Now that'll set up an interesting situation here on 4th and a yard. 4th down. Here's Ryan. Eluding the pressure right. And my goodness, this is incomplete. Dan Quinn's guys unable to come through there on 4th down. And this defense is going to get the football back near midfield, right at the 48. Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10, just shy of midfield at the 48.
Here we go. Green, 39. Green, 39.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And it's a big turnover there on the final play of the quarter. We're back now in KC. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the 4th quarter. This is Coleman. And he'll take it across the 50 and into Chief territory. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
21. Like 25. Gun.
They will run again with Coleman. And that one blown up quickly, as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. He'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down.
Hey, Tuesday. Gun.
On 3rd down, Ryan. Throw right side, caught by Ridley. 15 yards through the air and a first down. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me. I'm going to keep firing.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
Back to the ground, this time with Freeman. And only able to muster a couple down to about the 27. Now here's a defensive timeout called by the Chiefs. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter. This a big play for both sides. What will we see here? 3rd and 4. From the gun, Ryan. And able to catch it on the left sideline, but they're going to rule him out of bounds. So it'll be incomplete. Certainly one they'd like to have back as it brings up 4th down. And with the play clock winding down, we're going to get a timeout. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter. And here's a big one now. Trying to hold this lead. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. They'll try and throw for it with Ryan. And that is incomplete. The coverage good that time by Kendall Fuller. Boy, you talk about not playing it safe. Why were they going for it there, Charles?
It's got to be a full evaluation of their team. Do they trust their defense in this situation? Maybe they think they've given all they can in this game and they don't have anything left. Do they not trust that the other team's quarterback is just so hot that no matter where they get the ball, they go downfield? Remember when Bill Belichick went for it in that game, right, against Indianapolis on the road? And everybody said, why'd you go for it there? I think he just thought to himself, on the other side, if they get the ball, they're going downfield anyway. He was trying to end the game right there with his own offense.
Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation...
And the Falcons get there. The Falcons get the sack. Down he goes. Deion Jones. He's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9. Now Henning. And he's going to drop this off to Williams. Complete. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. A big gain of 31 on 3rd down.
So what's the old expression that quarterbacks like to use when they decide to throw the football? I'm looking for either a touchdown or a check down. And he took the check down on that play, and it worked almost to perfection.
Now a 1st down carry. It's Williams. The 20. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on 1st down. He'll look to throw. And he checks this one down to Williams. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. It's an 8-yard pickup, and it'll make it a 2nd down.
But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
Check, check, check.
On second down, Williams. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. The Chiefs on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2. They'll try and run for it. Here's Williams. He takes it across for the touchdown, and they've taken the lead late in the final minute of the 4th.
Wow, wow, wow. I know it's a never-say-never situation, but to me, that looks like that's the one that's going to finish them off.
The score that puts them in front here late, but not. You got to rally your kick team, don't you, and say the last thing we need is a big return.
And what happens is guys get overeager, get out of their lane because they're so excited they want to make the last tackle. You mess up, could come back at you a long way.
Butker now to kick this one away. And a little dangerous there, almost a penalty, but it does get into the end zone before going over the sideline for a touchback. And here now come the Falcons. One possession game, time very much a factor. How does the offense handle this situation?
Well, in a lot of cases, they should be somewhat relaxed. And I know that's counterintuitive because this is a pressure situation. But this is Friday practice every week of the season. You go over this situation, having to go downfield, limited timeouts, got to get out of bounds and keep the drive going and set yourself up. Defensively, you can't just lay back and let them do whatever they want. So it is a cat and mouse deal here. How much pressure will the defense bring and how much pressure can the offense handle?
We're going to find out. And he gets this one to Ridley complete. And now we won't see a play on 1st down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in the game. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. They'll look to throw. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
Now then, after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23.
All right, here we go. Green, 39. Green, 39. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Back to throw. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd. This defense hasn't had the best showing in this game, but a critical knockdown there. If they can hang on, I guess the end will kind of justify the means.
Certainly, and just think of it this way. It may not be the quantity of the plays that they've had because those haven't been great, but they get a few more quality ones like that. That could finish things off for them.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Hey, gun. Get up. Right.
Back to throw. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by the free safety, Eric Berry. Fights through at the 5.
And that one, it's going to hurt big time. You're in the 2-minute drill trying to get your guys down the field, and it's looking like they're going to go up just short, as this is definitely not his best throw. And it'll wind up being intercepted.
looks like he'll throw here. Letting one go deep for the end zone. And this one is incomplete. Well, I know at points in this one you wanted to close your eyes because of all the points that were being put on the scoreboard, your defensive guy.